Your totals
on the back. Here you go.
Well, palms up. It's your girl, and we are back for another week. Welcome. We are so excited to have you guys. You know who it is. It's your girl. And that's right. We've got some beautiful professionals that are joining us, or I should say rejoining us to the platform. And so we're looking so excited to hearing from them. Guys, please share the feed and let them know it's your girl. We are back for another episode of the Palms Up Show. And we've got the wonderful professionals from the Therapeutic Wellness Services in the house. That's right. It's your girl. Palms up. And guys, before we go any further, let me first and foremost thank my beautiful kick partner in crime and all things community oriented, my dear overseer and queen, Dr. Ann Coast II, who's always riding with me week in and week out. Welcome, queen, back for another week, and palms up to you.
Palms up to you, sis.
I'm gonna need you to hold this energy for me. Hey guys, before we go any further, you know what it is. Share the link, let them know. We're going live. We on YouTube, and I imagine our Facebook feed should be picking it up as well. And guys, the Cash App is palms up, the number 4MI. You know what it is. Palms up, the number 4MI. Guys, I want you to know our hearts are heavy. You know that we have been keeping you abreast, as well as we were able to, regarding our dear mother Regina, our MI mother, the very reason why we do the wonderful work that we do. She lost her struggle and battle on this earth on this past Friday, and we appreciate all of your beautiful wonderful prayers along the way, wonderful well-wishing, and also your condolences. We will have the information available for her homegoing as that information becomes available. We'll make it available to those of you that are interested. Our website, healthydcandme.org, spell the word "and" out, healthydcandme.org. Advocates, the number 4mi@gmail.com is an email if you want to get in touch with us. Hey guys, without any further ado, let's talk about it. You know that we're real big on mental health on this platform, and especially today, on a day like today, we want to make sure that this message of ours remains in the forefront of your hearts and your minds day in and day out. Our beautiful mother Regina helped us to remember why it is that we do this work. Everyone, guys, everyone deserves a higher quality and standard of living, which is why we are so excited to invite our beautiful professionals to the platform this evening from the Therapeutic Wellness Services. Guys, we've been in a pandemic for the better part of almost 2 years now, and the reality is that we have to be cognizant of the reality of who we are present day. There's no way that we're coming through this pandemic and we're not changed as a people. And I want you to know something. I speak of our hearts being heavy today. Grief is something that we've all been experiencing, whether it's from close up or from afar. And it is so important that we recognize that not just the remnants of exposure, what stress does to our body, but also we want to understand when we're grieving and when we're going through and understanding the realities of something that many diagnose to be PTSD understandings. Guys, let's not take for granted our mental health as we live our day to day, and let's use the opportunity for today's show and the reality to check our own realities of therapy, understandings, mental health, realities, and it's not always about being diagnosed. You hear us talk about that. There's some fancy words out there floating around in mental health, and there's also something called stigma. And so because folks are so concerned about not being labeled, many of us won't deal with the realities of what we need to. And when we don't, guys, it manifests in all kinds of unhealthy formats in our living, in our communities, in our beings. It is important that we recognize that in this new year, as we lose life and as we bring forward life, it is important that we start adopting the types of practices and living understandings that are going to help us to live healthier and better qualities of life. Stage 4 cancer, stage 4 lung cancer was a culprit in my mom's demise, my beautiful mother's demise. And I want you to know that our mental health citizens out there are much more than their diagnosis. We all are. And it is important that we start to live a life that would allow us to improve our quality and our standard of living. Palms up. All right, you knew I was going to get my 2 cents in. If we have to bury our beautiful queen, and we do, I want to hope to help to save someone else out there. And today is not too late. All righty, without any further ado, hey, Miss Real Talk. You know, normally this is when I'm doing word on the street and all that good stuff. But do me a favor, if you would. I've got my 2 cents in before we kick off with our beautiful souls at the Therapeutic Wellness Services. And there's our queen. We give our queen time to arrive. I was wondering if you would come forward with a very brief real talk word, just something that you'd like to share with our beautiful Palms Up audience this week.
Well, Palms Up audience been following me through this vaccination process, and
Absolutely.
last week I took my booster, and I'm happy to say I didn't have a reaction. My arm ain't sore. I'm still bouncing around, just doing me and enjoying it. And again, my condolences to you, sis. We take this walk together. Word on the street is life is beautiful in spite of what goes on. But we do acknowledge when we go through, so we can get the help that we need. So I just encourage everybody, just take a deep breath. Sometimes you do. You just have to take a deep breath and sit back sometime and just take it all in. But don't be quiet. Talk about it. Find somebody and reach out and talk to it. That's
Amen.
Word on the street today. It'll keep the balance and guns and depression and stuff if you talk about it. With a reliable source. You can't tell everybody everything now. I ain't had my purple pill, so I'm starting to wind up a little bit.
That's true. You can't trust everybody, but we got to be.
The word on the street is we make.
Thanks, sis, for that real word. Welcome to the platform, our dear Arnetta Rogers from My BF Solutions. There's a familiar face, also board member to My Mother's Keeper, and also our dear coalition member and Mr. Peace in the morning. You heard what I said, Mr. Peace in the morning. Mr. Darius A. Stanton, looking very studious this evening. I'm very honored to have you all round out our platform this evening. Palms up to you, beautiful souls. These are some wonderful faces to come back to after such a heavy load. Hey, Miss Watkins, I want to start with you, my beautiful owner and president of Therapeutic Wellness Services. I welcome you all back to the platform, and I thank you for summoning the crew, as we say. Looks like you've added some new faces. I understand that in addition to having Mr. James return, who's our head of operations, making sure that everything from that mop to those invoices get taken care of. I see you over there, Mr. James. Welcome back. Also, Miss Yvette Griffin, Human Resources Manager, and Creola Levy. I hope I did you ladies justice, the CEO and the licensed therapist. I tell you, I must have called everybody last week, the licensed therapist, but I won't make that mistake this week. Welcome, you beautiful, beautiful souls to the platform, and palms up to you. Miss Watkins, would you do us a beautiful favor and then bring us into the discussion this week? One of the things we were very interested and understanding last week was the wonderful, what seemed like organization of the therapeutic wellness services and the roundabout of their resources. Since it looks like we're going to have the opportunity to talk about your therapy structure, I would love for you to invite that conversation, help us understanding from an owner standpoint, what you were looking for when you set about your understanding of putting your team, your therapeutic team together.
Okay, well, first, thank you. And I send my condolences to you and your family. Sorry for your loss.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And again, thank you for having me on this platform. So, like I spoke last week, Therapeutic Wellness Services has been around since 2016 is where it all began. And so, who we are as an organization and my team, Therapeutic Wellness Services, we are a state licensed health program. We provide comprehensive treatment intervention for children and adults suffering from serious mental illnesses, co-occurrences, substance abuse disorders, or in need of support coping, emotional crisis. We essentially is a one-stop shop with all of the services that we provide, integrative behavioral health, mental health therapy, psychiatric rehabilitation support, supportive employment, developmental disabled personal support, substance abuse programming, and at multiple levels to include for substance abuse programming, partial hospitalization, IOP, which is our intensive outpatient treatment, OP, which is an outpatient treatment program as well as our residential 3.1. We have residential behavioral health community housing program, do medication management, primary care, peer recovery specialist coaching, and case management. And our mission when we first started Therapeutic Wellness was, how can we treat the whole person? What can we do if a person is coming in that, have mental illness, have substance abuse, but is homeless? How will they be able to, receive treatment where they may not know where they're going to lay their head at night? So our mission was to provide a comprehensive behavioral health for families and children utilizing services to qualified professionals implementing individual rehabilitation plans. So, offering housing, whereas though we can house them, therefore they know where they're going to sleep at night. So the next day they're going to come for treatment, because they have a stable environment, with all of the supports in place. So, we wanted to do a one-stop shop where as though you're not here, there, everywhere. Everything you need is kind of right here at Therapeutic Wellness Services. So that was the vision, was to incorporate all of the different services and bringing it under one roof, as opposed to, sourcing it out. Some cases, a case-to-case situation, some we can't service, so we will, refer out to other organizations. And so overall, we work with children, adolescents, and adults. And our vision is to lead promotion of excellence in the community-based behavioral health, to provide comprehensive behavioral health care for families. It's important that we're not just treating the mom who may be suffering from mental, illness, that she still have kids and she still, she's raising her children, due to her illness. So we want to take the whole family approach, and work with the children as well. So mom know how to, work with the kids through her illness, and the kids know how to work with mom when she does have her breakdowns and her meltdowns, because it is going to happen.
Amen.
So tonight, I brought with us tonight on the panel is Creola Levy. That's our CEO of Therapeutic Wellness Services. And she's also our licensed mental health professional, as well as I'll let her introduce herself, but I'll go ahead and let her speak if we're ready to speak for her next.
Absolutely. Welcome, Ms. Levy, to the platform. Please do introduce yourself.
Thank you, Ms. Rhonda. And I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you very much.
So my name is Creola Levy. I'm a LCPC, that's a licensed clinical professional counselor. And I'm also a licensed addiction counselor. And I am approved to supervise through the state of Maryland. So I can have supervisees under me, people who are working on getting their full license or those who have graduated and they're working on, getting their license, their graduate license counselors.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. We're going to put you on the hot seat if you don't mind me asking. How is it that you came to do what you do? And can you enlighten us in terms of this pandemic? Are you seeing any trends that we can understand?
What's funny is lately we've been seeing a lot of multiple personalities. It's just coming out, a person could come in suffering from depression or anxiety, but they're also hearing voices. And a lot of times people won't tell that they're hearing voices, but they actually are. And so you won't know unless you screen them and say, hey, are you hearing voices? And they say, yeah. And it's pretty surprising sometimes that a lot of people are suffering from this. And it could be bipolar or it could be a personality disorder, but we're finding out that many people are suffering with this.
We are so excited to have you. One of the things that our platform has been pushing for quite some time is the presence, or I should say the lack of the presence of a cultural comprehensive approach to mental health. And those are some big words to put together. And then of course, just mental health in and of itself is challenging for many. But when we get to talking about the cultural and comprehensive approach, boy, oh boy, are we saying something there. How exciting is it for you, or necessary is probably a better word, to work in an environment such as therapeutic wellness services, where you guys seem committed to taking a whole person approach? Why do you feel it's necessary, and how can you help our viewing public understand that?
Well, you have to treat the whole person. You can't just treat a portion of it.
I'll leave that one alone, but talk to us a little bit about why you feel that would be better.
Well, I guess, when you think about therapeutic wellness, you think about wellness. And so what is wellness? There's 6, 7, 8 dimensions. I'm not sure if you guys heard of the 8 dimensions of wellness.
Amen. Yeah.
Okay, so
now, yes, Samson's 8 dimensions of wellness is what the doctor speaks of. Absolutely.
Exactly. And that's what we feel like when we talk about treating a whole person. We think about, the 8 dimensions of wellness. And the first one is emotional wellness.
Amen.
And so if your emotions are all out of whack and you can't think straight and you're not addressing that, you can't even get to the next, dimension. So you got to work on your mental state of mind.
Amen.
So you got to do that, talk to somebody. And a lot of times people, that's all they really need is just to be heard.
Come on, Queen. Come on, Queen. I tell you, in our community, sometimes we take the smallest understandings for granted. Doc, thank you again. I want to give you a break for a moment and ask our beautiful professionals to come to the forefront. There's some beautiful souls who help us do this work and help us push our mission and our word out daily. Miss Arnetta Rogers, My BMF Solutions, we've had the pleasure of showcasing on the platform previously, and I'd like to recognize her again as one of the beautiful souls that does a lot of the work behind the scenes for our nonprofit to make certain that these beautiful relationships happen. And then I would like to invite you, Ms. Rogers, again to come to the forefront and just reintroduce yourself and the understanding of why it is professionally My BMF and your work with MI saw that it was instrumental in bringing such a relationship partner to the table. And then obviously, right, simultaneous to you speaking, I'd like to invite Mr. Stanton, who's also a Healthy DC Leadership Coalition board member, among other personalities in the community. It is always wonderful to hear from our woke representatives in the community for something as important as bringing therapy to the forefront. Arnetta?
Yes, hi, everyone. Again, as she said, Arnetta Rogers. I am on the board of Am I Mother's Keeper. I want to first give my heartfelt condolences. You already know where my heart is with that, with your mom. And this great work is started in honor of her. And so I want to pay homage to her, and I will continue this work with you for as long as we both shall live, right? But our union together, when Aunt Rhonda first asked me to be on her board, I was certainly honored, and I understood the great work that needed to be done. Especially during the time of COVID, we had so many cases, new cases that were popping up just as fast as the, pandemic itself. And so the work needs to be done. The great partnerships with therapeutic wellness needed to happen. And I came on board as a counselor first. But when I saw the excellence and the structure that Ms. Watkins had within her organization, I knew that it was a great fit for MI, and that I could be that bridge to make that happen. We have some outstanding people here on this panel who feels the same. We're Black, we're educated, we're proud, and we want to just be bold for good. And that's where Mr. Darius Stanton comes in to help us bridge the gap even further, because he's in Anne Arundel County, and he has some great things in the works as well. So when I tell you this job fair that's coming up for the people this Saturday, January 15th, from noon to 3 p.m., 4710 Arth Place, 3rd floor in Suitland, Maryland. We're so excited about that. We're looking for 30 or more mental health counselors licensed. And for those who need, training, who are maybe in the home health aid field that wants to transition over, that has that caring heart and want to learn and grow with us together. We require love. We require excellence in all that you bring. And just come to the job fair and become a part of a great family. That's all we ask. Thank you.
Awesome. And Mr. Stanton, will you please come to the forefront? Brother, it's always a wonderful opportunity to have you at the table. As I heard Ms. Rogers mention, the wonderful families in Anne Arundel County also will stand to benefit from such a partnership. Love to hear your input, brother. Welcome to the platform. Palms up to you.
Palms up to you. Peace and love. Good to see all the good people. It's so wonderful to see my sister, Overseer Dr. Ann Coles. Thank you, Arnetta Rogers, Queen, for your introduction. And the Therapeutic Wellness family, our most newest members of the DC Healthy and Me, Prince George's County, Maryland Healthy and Me.
Come on now.
Coalition. Good to see you, Ms. Watkins, King James, and Ms. Levy. Nice to see you as well, and Ms. Griffin. And to you, our queen, our fearless leader, I call you the warrior queen. You have, my utmost love and respect, and our family sends our love to your family and your husband, and everybody that just fell in love with your mom. And as Arnetta said, the reason why we're here. And I just wanted to stop by for a moment and tell you to keep your head to the sky.
That's right, brother. That's right, brother.
Keep your head
That's
to
right.
the sky. So, that's pretty much it. We live in Prince George's County, and so we hope to bring, therapeutic wellness and the work that they're doing, not only the Prince George's, but Anne Arundel on the Eastern Shore. And, the job fair that's coming up this weekend is so important for our communities. There is no greater initiative in our communities right now than to preserve our mental health and really take us from the position of being struggling and resilient and to thriving.
Amen.
And in order for us to be able to thrive, we must heal. And in order for us to heal, we have to heal our spiritual health, our mental health, our physical health. And this is what our project, our initiative is completely about, is holistic. And so, people who are looking to support people and really be about people, this is an opportunity for you. And we're looking for you. We need you. Let me be very clear. We need you. Take my glasses off. We need you.
Amen.
We need you. Because there are a lot of people right now, there are children right now who are scared, who are crying, who are sick, who are being abused, that need you. There are wives that are being abused, girlfriends that are being abused, that need you. There are men that are being abused and mistreated and emotionally and physically abused. They need you.
Amen.
So they're waiting for us right this minute. They're praying for somebody to come to them, because day in and day out, and especially during the midst of this pandemic, people have been suffering more than they've ever suffered at the hands of their abusers. And the abusers need help, because the abusers were abused, and in most cases, that's why they're abusing someone. So we have to break the cycle of abuse. And that's why I'm very excited about the partnership that we have with our lovely guest, Therapeutic Wellness. And we look forward to anyone else who's real about helping people, help people. So I love you all. God bless you. Thank you so much for allowing me to share a few moments. I won't be able to stay with you long in physical, but my heart and spirit is with you the whole ride.
Always. You're right. This is a journey. Hey, brother, thank you. You said some real stuff out there, and you came and said what needed to be said. Guys, there are folks out there that are hurting, and we need to come together as a community and as a nation, and we can all do something. We all must play our part. And as you hear our beautiful professional speaking on January the 15th, this coming Saturday, the beautiful folks at Therapeutic Wellness Services are collaborating with our beautiful folks and board members, My BMF Solutions, and they are bringing forward a mental health professional job fair. I'd like to ask Mr. Keith James to unmute. Welcome back. Mr. Keith James is actually the head of operations. And briefly, Mr. James, if you will remind us of the various positions that you guys will be seeking to fill on this Saturday, and anything else that you felt that we should help them to understand briefly, because I do want to work Ms. Griffin into the conversation. I just realized you guys brought the human resources manager. My goodness, do we have some questions for her as well? So Mr. James, if you will come forward, thank you. And palms up to you.
Thank you. And again, I want to repeat and resound the condolences that everybody shared for your mom. And, just to share a quick word with you, they say that death is no enemy to man. It's a friend who, when the works of life are done, just cuts the cord that binds the human boat to earth so that it may sail on smoother seas. And though we haven't had a chance to meet your mom personally, I think we meet her each time we meet with you, and through the work that you do, her life and her legacy will live on. So it's good to know her through you. Amen. And my heart goes out to you. In terms of positions and the specifics of those positions, it probably would be easy, if you don't mind, if we defer to Miss Griffin to give us a more clearer synopsis on
Absolutely.
that. And then
Absolutely. Miss Griffin, without any further ado, welcome to the platform, Miss Yvette Griffin. They tell me you are the human resources manager. Mr. James says he knows better than to speak up when you're in our presence. So how you doing, Queen?
Thank you for having me tonight, and I appreciate you allowing me to come on the platform and talk about human resources. And I want to offer my condolences as well.
Thank you very much.
And your family.
You help us understand the types of professionals that you guys are seeking to bring out this coming Saturday at the job fair? And we're going to give you guys some more information about the job fair. But let's talk a little bit first about what is it that you guys are looking or hoping to attract on Saturday?
Sure, I would like to share my screen with you if that's possible.
Please do. I want you to know that right now I just see black, so I'm not sure if that is intentional. I just want to give you a heads up.
That is intentional.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you guys for tuning in. It's Rhonda Hamilton. It's your girl. It's the Palms Up Show. We are briefly waiting for our beautiful folks. There we go at Therapeutic Wellness Services. The head of Human Resources is going to help us understand something. Thank you for tuning in.
Are you able to see that? No?
Yes.
Okay. So basically what we have, the first position I would like to talk about is PRP Counselor. So we have that position open and several others, but first I want to talk about PRP Counselor.
Rhonda Hamilton, it's your girl. It's the Palms Up Show. We are.
Can you hear me?
Beautiful folks. There we go at Therapeutic Wellness Services. Want to help us understand something. Thank you for tuning in. I can't even explain.
No?
Yes.
Okay, so should I continue? Can you all hear me?
You might have to mute it, Rhonda.
Is PRP Counselor. So
Okay, go ahead, Yvette.
okay, so the first position is a PRP Counselor, and that is our main position that we're hiring for in the PG County area. Okay, so the PRP Counselor will be expected to provide individualized skill building to serve and persistently mentally challenge adults and children consumers as indicated in their rehabilitation plan. The rehabilitation plan comes from the rehabilitation specialist, and we also have that position open as well. The responsibilities for the PRP Counselor will be expected to provide individualized training for the use of severe, persistently mentally challenged adults and children consumers as indicated in their rehabilitation plan. Under the supervision of the rehabilitation specialist, the PRP Counselor will assist our consumers to achieve their goals in the areas of self-care, social skills, self-management skills, as well as support them in relevant educational/vocational career pursuits needed based on their diagnosis and treatment plans. So basically, this is the responsibilities of the PRP Counselor. And I won't go into all of the responsibilities because we will see that later at the job fair. But the qualifications for the PRP Counselor, as you can see here, they must be certified in CPR and first aid. They must pass a background check. All of the positions at Therapeutic Wellness, you have to pass a background check and a CPS background check as well. With PRP, you have to have a, you have to have a, see that, driver's license and your driver's record. Your driver's record should be, as you can see, has to be non-certified, certified in CPR and first aid.
Miss Griffin.
They must pass a background check. All of the positions at Therapeutic Wellness, you have to pass a background check and a CPS background check as well. With PRP, you have to have a, you have to have a, see that, driver's license and your driver's record.
Miss
Your
Griffin.
driver's record, yes. You can see has to be non-certified, certified in CPR and first aid.
Miss Griffin.
They must pass a background check. All of the positions at Therapeutic, you have to pass a background check and a CPS background check. Can you hear me? You have to have a. I'm nervous right now. I know I didn't execute. I'm sorry. You have to have a driver's license and your driver's record.
Miss
Driver's
Griffin.
record, yes. You can see it has to be non-certified, certified in CPR and first aid.
Miss Griffin.
They must pass a background check. All of the positions.
Rhonda, is everything okay?
I can't seem to get her screen to stop in order to gain back. Can you hear me, Miss Griffin?
I think she's still speaking.
Yes.
Would you please switch to co-host? We're having technical trouble.
Okay, sure.
Greetings, Greetings. I'm asking everyone if you would mute. I'd like to apologize because apparently we're having to get her screen to stop in order to gain back. Can you hear me, Ms. Griffin? We're having some pushback that we have no control over, and obviously we've been in this.
Do you have on two devices, Rhonda?
I do not. I do not. It's coming from somewhere in the background that I can't control, but I do not have on any other device. So I'm not in control over what's going on. So my apologies. I'm asking everyone if you would mute. I'd like to apologize because apparently we're having, I don't know where it's
The devil is busy.
We're having some pushback that we have no control over, and obviously we've been in this.
Do you have on two devices, Rhonda?
I do not.
You're on
My
mute.
apologies, Ms. Griffin. My apologies. I had to mute everybody out to find which screen was rogue. I want to apologize for our viewers. Ms. Griffin, if you will, very briefly, you had a wonderful presentation going there. If you could just recap for us, which position specifically are you guys looking to hire on this Saturday? And again, my apologies. We learn on our platform here, palms up, to keep rolling with the punches, especially on a day like today and a beautiful memory of my wonderful mother. So my apologies for the technical difficulties. It looks like we are back in control of moving forward. And Ms. Griffin, if you will summarize for our dear listeners and our viewers the understanding of the positions and the type of talents you're looking to attract on Saturday.
Okay, so basically we have PRP counselor, PRP rehabilitation specialist, OMHC medical director, which is OMHC stands for outpatient mental health clinic medical director, and addictions counselor / we call that substance abuse counselor. And those are the positions that we have. Oh, and mental health therapist. That's the main one as well, mental health therapist.
And I did hear you briefly in your presentation of the material, trying to help us to understand the types of qualifications or prerequisites. Is that something you can help us understand? Are these professionals that you're expecting to already have these types of professional understandings in place, or how do they govern themselves as being qualified?
Okay, so the mental health therapist, they would have to be a licensed provider, which would be an LGPC, LCPC, LMSW, or LMSWC, which stands for Licensed Graduate Professional Counselor, Licensed Clinical Professional Counselor. LMSW is a licensed Masters of Social Work. LMSWC is a licensed Master of Social Work Clinical, and those are licensed by the state of Maryland. So for that position, you have to be a licensed provider and at least 1 year in mental health.
Okay. I heard that there was a position or two where you guys train folks. So is it that you're looking for them to have some basic therapy training, and then you'll take them to the next level, or what role does the training play?
Okay, so the PRP counselor, I guess that's the one you're speaking about.
Okay.
You have to have a high school diploma or a GED, and at least 1 year of mental health counseling or mental health experience, working in a mental health facility or a hospital or some kind of maybe a doctor's office, something like that, would suffice for the qualification as far as working.
Okay. And what exactly is a PRP counselor, if you don't mind me asking, since we mentioned it?
Sure. Psychiatric rehabilitation program counselor. And that person is the person that works with the rehabilitation specialist who writes out the treatment plans.
Okay. Are you seeing, as the head of human resources, obviously for mental health outreach, such as therapeutic wellness services? I recently had a conversation with a professional at GW in the care of my mom's care, and or in the process, I should say, of my mom's care. One of the statements she made that stayed with me is that their actual organization was experiencing a third of the loss of their psychiatry professionals. and then hearing that there's obviously such a need for this upcoming job fair of professionals. Is there any reason, is it more that, in your opinion, that we are seeing more cases is why we need more professionals? Are we in our region kind of losing the professionals? Can you help us understand the reality of trying to retain this level of talent and the reality of what's out there? In your opinion, of course.
In my opinion, I believe that you just had 4 million people just leave the workforce, period, as a whole. You know, so that accounts for something that they just left for no reason, I guess, because of the pandemic. But however, we at Therapeutic Wellness are looking for licensed professionals for those positions of mental health therapists, PRP rehabilitation specialist, the OMHC director, and the substance abuse counselor / addictions counselor. Those are the positions that need license. But as far as the PRP counselor position, you do not need a license for that. And we can train you for that position, but you at least need to have at least 1 year of mental health experience.
Okay. And when you say 1 year of mental health experience, is that can you further define? Does that mean volunteer? Are there variations?
Yeah, so you could work in the mental health field, work for a clinic, or work for in a hospital, any kind of setting that provides mental health services.
Okay. That's clear enough.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like us to understand as the Human Resources Director for folks that should get excited about this job fair or a job fair of this nature?
Yes, there's another way that you can reach me at Therapeutic Wellness. You can go to the website, Therapeutic Wellness Corp /WP/careers. There's a section that says careers. You click on careers and input your information, your resume, and I will get that information on Friday and get in contact with you no later than Monday.
Okay. And
I'll get that THERAPUTICWELLNESSCORP I'm sorry, there's a .com in there somewhere, corp.com. I'm sorry,
.com. Website. Okay.
Yes, okay. And then go to the careers section, and then there's a drop-down box to pick out which profession you'd like to apply for.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Griffin. I appreciate that detail.
Thank you.
Ms. Rogers, will you come to the forefront and help our viewers and our listeners understand what they might expect come Saturday in that setting as they come out? Is there a place to be able to fill out your application? Are there additional information that they should start putting together? In other words, should they come prepared to do something detailed? Is it just a drop-in? Could you help us to understand?
Well, yes, well, first let me say, for those who are listening that go on to Therapeutic Wellness's website, please reference my BMF in doing so that we can know and understand where you found Therapeutic Wellness. But secondly, when you come to the job fair on Saturday, we will have COVID-19 precautions in place. And so please come with your mask. We will have sanitizing stations in place. We'll have a table where, it'll be labeled for no experienced and the licensed professional. So we'll be pretty organized in that area so that you won't be all over the place. You'll know exactly where to go, and we'll know how to, treat you and make sure that we give you the proper information. We will go over the job description again, and we'll be more detailed in the duties and responsibilities and what's required of you. And as I mentioned before, we stand for excellence on every level. And so when you hear Miss Watkins speak, or our brother Keith James speak, everything that they're speaking of from the non-licensed professional to the licensed professional. There's still a standard of excellence that we expect of you. So if you're not serious about representing yourself well and representing each one of our organizations well, please do not waste our time. But if you are ready to serve and you want to grow, if you are not licensed, to take the necessary classes and steps to become a PRP counselor, then we are the team for you. You can bring your resumes. However, you can also, I believe, upload it on the website as well. I believe, is that correct, Ms. Griffin?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that's what we would prefer.
Okay, so why don't you get us that link so that we can get that loaded up on all of our vehicles so that the folks in the general public can start accessing that. Ms. Griffin, and I thank you, Ms. Rogers, for that. I wanted to ask Ms. Griffin, are you looking for quite a few professionals? Any idea of the roundabout number you're looking to attract?
So with PRP counselors, it's unlimited. With the therapist and the PRP rehabilitation specialist and the OMHC director and substance abuse counselors, around 10 or 15.
Okay. Thank you for that. And guys, the address again is this coming Saturday. Ms. Rogers, why don't you go ahead and run it down again? The address, the hours. Why don't you give us any final wrap-ups you'd like to add in?
Okay, I do want to add that there will be a qualifying questionnaire that Ms. Watkins will have for everyone. You will receive a follow-up email with the next steps as well. But I also want to mention, Ms. Griffin mentioned something about the PRP counselors needing to have their CPR and a couple of other credentials. Well, we want to share with you that you can obtain that if you are chosen, if you meet the minimal qualifications to work with us, that we will provide the necessary steps for you to obtain CPR and the rest of your credentials.
Okay,
now,
so I think I hear you saying that folks that are truthfully interested,
this is a great opportunity.
The questionnaire to see if they actually have what it takes, and if there's something there, you guys will help them to navigate further. I like that. Will you briefly help us to understand, I'm sorry, very quickly, the address and the time?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, the address is 4710, that's 4710 Auth Place, Suitland, Maryland, 20746, 3rd floor.
And what time are you going to be doing your job fair on Saturday?
From noon to 3 p.m.
From noon to 3 p.m. And what's an average turnaround time if I'm coming in just to get some information, want to fill out an app and leave? Am I required to stay the entire 3 hours, or is it kind of a in and out, or is it a presentation I might want to catch? Anything specific I need to understand or be prepared for?
Yeah, I would say come prepared to stay for the 3 hours so that you can understand the heart of the organization.
Okay.
And understand what we expect of you and what you should expect of us. So come prepared to social distance and find out the necessary information that you need and network.
Okay.
Right?
Give me a phone number, again, a website that they can come to, a social media really quickly to get more information.
Yes, you can go to therapeuticwellnesscorp.com to complete your preliminary application or put in your resume. You can also shoot me an email at arogers@mybmfsolutions.com and just to find out any additional information. And if you are a person that needs to talk to someone, I can be reached at 240-698 $2,500.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. And before we get out of here, and I thank all you beautiful professionals, this is wonderful. It's your girl. It's your girl. This Saturday, it's going down 4710 Off Place in Camp Springs, Maryland on the 3rd floor. You heard Miss Rogers say, come out, plan to stay so that you can get some beautiful information. If it's been your intent to help our community in the capacity of a mental health professional, if you yourself are someone who are looking to make a transition because you want to do better, give more, then you should come out and get some information. Miss Rogers, give me that phone number one more time.
240-698-2500.
240-698-2500. You
Yes.
heard Miss Griffin, the Human Resources Manager, indicate that you can go to the website and you can upload your resume. We're going to get that website link on our healthydcandme.org website so you guys can get some information for this coming Saturday. Miss Levy, before we get out of here, again, thank you again, Queen, for making and taking the time, as well as Miss Watkins and Mr. James. Miss Levy, you mentioned something that I wanted to kind of wrap up with. You mentioned that you guys are seeing somewhat an uptick in multiple personality understandings, as well as folks that are hearing voices. Anything that you might want to share for someone who's wrestling with whether or not to step up or look for help, who might be hearing voices? Any final words from a therapeutic standpoint, or just, positive affirmation standpoint that would help someone to determine whether or not to get care? We're always concerned about those that are sitting in the shadows.
I just encourage people to go and get help. They may just want to talk to someone about it, because once they start talking, they can find out what's going on. When you hear voices, it could be a mood disorder, such as bipolar, it could be schizophrenia, it could be multiple personalities. You just never know what it is. And then also, some people that have used substances, sometimes substances can induce a disorder as well. So it's best to just come and talk with a professional to find out what's going on.
Awesome. Awesome. Miss Watkins, thank you, Miss Levy, for that. And you speak with so much compassion. I tell you, this is just so wonderful. We could do this all day, every day, from my opinion. Thank you, guys. Miss Watkins, I can't thank you again enough, Queen, for just stepping out on faith and following your heart, knowing that a service such as this was needed. Will you talk to us on the horizon for therapeutic wellness services? I personally have a vision, but I'd like to hear from you. I'm so excited to know you all, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that vision. But for you all, where are you with it as you see this wonderful growth in your organization?
Well, again, thank you for having us on this platform. Just to be able to expand to the PG County area, DC area is, I think is a wonderful thing. We are currently now in Baltimore County, and we also in Baltimore City. So we see that the need is greater beyond the areas that we are serving. And because that we are licensed for the state of Maryland and can service, the whole state of Maryland, just to have this opportunity to expand to areas that, was kind of a thought, but, just not knowing where, when, and how. So to have this partnership, with meeting with Arnetta Rogers was just like a no-brainer, to kind of connect this partnership with you guys. And so I just see us just expanding and just, growing and just getting bigger and bigger as we expand the services to different, locations throughout the state of Maryland where the need presents itself. So I don't see us stopping. The Lord's will. I don't foresee us stopping at any time, soon. I think we're doing a great job. I have a good team, professionals that, work alongside and just helping bringing this vision, forth. So the vision is huge, beyond, what we can possibly imagine. So I'm just thankful, and it's no limit.
Hey, man, I love that. And, you know, as we always say, it takes a village. And Mr. James, before we get out of here, the only brother on the platform, been very patient again. And I just want to understand, we see all these beautiful women. What role do we need to play to get our brothers to the table from a professional standpoint? Because those of you that we do, you know, have at the table do so well and speak so well. And obviously we need more of you. So just from your perspective, do you always feel like the minority, or is that just the representation today?
I think that's the representation here today, but I think the world over, listen, I'm almost a male feminist of sorts, right?
Amen. Amen. Palms up to that.
Especially my sisters, man. I promote it, and you all at the forefront of a lot of things in a lot of industries, and just coming to the forefront and taking leadership. So it is what it is, you know, and it speaks for what it speaks for. We can't deny that. I do know that in this industry, you know, it's taboo. Sometimes there's stigmas attached to it. And one big thing I want to say, if I want to make one point before we do sign off, is that just being a professional does not guarantee professionalism. And at TWS, that's one thing that we really speak to in terms of training individuals and cultivating professionals to be able to exude professionalism and do things a specific and particular way. So I say that to all of those, like Ms. Rogers was saying, there's a standard, and everyone who's coming to the table with the desire of employment, with this collaboration, needs to really know. And one thing that we do know, that to be successful in business, you have to cultivate your team and train them properly and teach them the way of doing things that speaks to the very heart of the vision that Ms. Watkins and Ms. Levy had from day one, and that Ms. Rogers and that all of you young ladies have. So come prepared to learn and be open to learn. And though you may be professionals and bring certain tools and knowledge to the table, be open to learning new ways of evolution and trying to do things better. We're always seeking to work towards continuous improvement. And that's our goal as we grow. Thank you.
I love that. I love that. And again, you knocked it out the park. You came right on in and cleaned it right on up. And I love it. And as you heard him say, there's standards to this, and they carry themselves with the standard. And so if you're looking to assist members in our community of a mental health capacity and reality, you're going to know that you're going to be held to an accountability coming to the table with this particular collaboration, is what I hear them saying. And so we love that. One of the beauties for me is, again, to hear you guys speak so eloquently, regardless of what your roles and representations are. You all speak from the same accord, and that's important for our community to see and understand, because my God, we're talking about mental health, and all too often we're not present in the way that we should and could be. And a lot of times we follow what we see. And so you guys have been the perfect representation of this excellence that we speak about, that we'd like to see permeate throughout our communities when we're speaking of something as important as mental health, and matters as important and complex as voices and hallucinations, and the reality that things that may be induced from other behavioral choices. Guys, this is some real stuff we're speaking of. The research has supported that trauma for many is real and is a contributory factor. Guys, if you're interested about anything you hear us talking about, never mind what the folks to the right and the left of you are talking about. It's what our community needs to be talking about. And guys, I've got some beautiful souls here from the Therapeutic Wellness Services that are committed to helping you to understand the standard with which they move forward in our communities of Maryland, helping folks with their mental health. Guys, it's your girl, palms up. We thank you for hanging in there with us today. Today, we're not flying at full staff, but don't you get it twisted. We're still out here doing the work, and we got some beautiful souls that were patient enough to show up to the platform tonight. We're sending out today's show and a very plethora of love out to our dear mother Regina, who we've lost, and we are going to send her on in a very wonderful way. I thank you, souls, for hanging out with us today. Palms up to each and every one of your beautiful hearts and your beautiful prayers. I thank you, guys. Therapeutic Wellness Services are going to be in the house on Saturday the 15th. If you're someone out there of a professional nature that's looking to be able to come into the fold and help our communities, please plan to stop by 4710 Auth Place in Camp Springs, Maryland, this Saturday. And we're starting at what time, Arnetta Rogers?
Noon. We're starting
Starting at noon.
at noon,
All right,
noon
I
to
want to give
3.
you guys time enough to get your ink pens out. We're starting at noon and we'll be going until 3. We'd love to have you guys. Please check out their website. We're going to get that link up on the healthydcandme.org website. Guys, it's your girl out there. Mental health is real. Do me a favor. Hug your loved ones tonight. Hug them a little tighter because we just don't know what tomorrow brings. And do me a second favor. While we can all do something about our mental health, commit to doing something, whether it's for yourself, your family member, your loved ones, your community members. Let's stop walking by one another, guys, out there. This life is real and it's short. Amen.
Amen.
Guys, we'll see you next week. Palms up. Thank
Palms
you,
up.
Therapeutic Wellness Services, for being such awesome professionals of mental health. God bless you, souls.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Everybody.
Good
Thumbs
night.
up. See you next week.
Much.
Thanks, Overseer.